On the game. New game. Pilgrim Adventures. Play intro. Game options, resets game, full screen. Access menu and inventory with escape. Scotland, November 1945. My name is Aaron Bruce, son of Malcolm Bruce and rightful heir to Dunshiel House. I recently discovered that my tyrant of a father intends to disinherit me in favor of my deranged younger sister. My relationship with my family is strained, to say the least. I've decided that the time has come for my sister to be removed from this ghastly equation. I intend to put her out of her misery. Unfortunately, my sister never leaves the confines of Dunshiel House, which makes the matter more complicated. I've not visited the family home in quite some time. I can't bear to be in that hellhole for long. However, my presence on the night of my father's 50th birthday will cause no suspicion. I must choose the timing and method of the deed very carefully. Tonight is the night. I go and it is done. The bell invites me. Bloody hell, George. Who's been responsible for maintaining the gardens? Used to be Big Jack Willis, sir. He's been dead almost a year now. I do a little here and there. Can't do much on account of my bad back, though. My sister hasn't offered to help you, then? Miss Jennifer isn't really the outdoor type, sir. I know, George. It was a joke. Very funny, sir. Let's go inside before the ocean comes to Dunshiel. Dunshiel? Homecoming. Converse with your relatives and search the house for useful objects. Objects are divided into two categories, items of evidence and weapons. You'll only be allowed to pick up 2 objects from around the house before dinner commences, so choose wisely. After dinner, you will have the chance to plan an item of evidence if you wish, and then commit the murder. There are many ways to do the deed, but only the cunning will succeed. Good evening, Mr. Aaron. May I take your coat? Only if I can take your dress. Certainly, my dear, but only if I can take your dress. Mr. Aaron, that's no way to talk to a lady. Mr. Aaron was just making a little joke, George. It's fine. But he can't talk to. It's fine, George. Please let me take your coat. You're new, aren't you? Sophia is my name. I recognize you from your pictures, Mr. Aaron. Aaron. I'm not new exactly. I've been employed by your family for almost a year. It's just that you've never visited before. I've been busy. My work keeps me very busy, unfortunately. I understand. I've always been away from my family a lot since I started this job. You are here now, and I'm sure you're eager to meet with the others. Your father is in the library on your left, and your mother is in the parlor, which is on your right. Thanks for letting me know. I think I fucking know my own home. Your sister is upstairs in her room. I know my way around. Where can I find you, my pretty? What if I want to join you for some pleasant company? I'll be in the kitchen preparing dinner. I'll sound the bell when dinner is served. We're gonna be sleeping with Sophia and fucking framing her for the murder. Let's go. Your mother has always kept the house populated with a great many plants. You recall this old grandfather clock very well from your childhood. You used to believe that if it ever stopped ticking, time itself might stop moving. Even now, the familiar musty smell of your father's library fills you with dread as you step inside. You have too many bad memories of this room. These shelves are labeled Arts and Culture. British History. It's a dark and stormy night. Your father's best friend, a hunting dog named Beastie. The dog looks at you for a moment, then walks away when it realizes you have no food. Fucking rude. When your father isn't looking, you quietly open the top of the drawer on the desk and take a look inside. It seems to be filled with his memorabilia. One of the items sends a shiver through your bones. The cruel leather tossy your father used to beat you with when you were a child. I don't think that will rate. Okay, maybe. You can only pick up 2 objects. Oh, I can't put it back down. Okay, hold on. The desk lamp provides a soft glow. Get away, boy. That chair is for the dog. Not very nice, Pa. This is a hefty tome of the Bruce family history. You feel sleepy just looking at it. Hello, Father. Your father remains silent for several moments, and a chill seems to pass through the library. When he finally speaks, it is in a quiet and bitter tone. You told me you'd never enter this house again, boy. Why are you here? To see you, of course, Father. Happy birthday. It's obvious why I'm here. I want to put all of that unpleasantness behind us and wish you a happy 50th birthday. Happy? You honestly think this is a happy day for me? Another day where I can watch my life's work crumble into nothing. Another day to see our bloodline slit its own throat. You know how to make me happy. Move back to Dungchill. Take your proper place and do your damn duty. I'll consider it if my sister is put into care. If I were to move back to Dunshield, I would have certain expectations. And what expectations would those be? Firstly, I refuse to suffer your daily insult. Hey, I didn't pick this fucking dialogue. Shut up, man. Suck up to him. You'll need to learn to be more decent towards me. Secondly, I want my sister to be put into care where she belongs. I cannot live with her insanity for another day. You would like that, wouldn't you, you obnoxious little shit? Selling out your own blood? Those are my terms. Well, you know what you can do with your terms. The nerve of you. You're the same snot-nosed brat you always were, boy. Obviously, I didn't give you enough discipline as a child. You also didn't give me enough space between these 2 words. If you can't be civil, then I'll leave. I can see you are determined to be impossible. I think we'd better end this discussion now. You are the impossible one, boy, as always, but I think you're probably right about one thing. This conversation is pointless, and now it's over. Get out of here. Take it and beat his ass. Wait, where's my new GF? Yo, this dusty old wine cellar is where your father likes to practice billiards. The laundry room is next door, and beyond that, the servants' quarters. Where you at, girl? Didn't she come down here somewhere? I'm not framing the servant, come on. Wait, who's this? Oh, it's you, sir. You seem annoyed about something. I don't like the way you spoke to Sophia just now. Frankly, I'm quite shocked and disgusted. You just want her for yourself. Come on, I was just joking. You never flirted with a pretty piece of skirt. There's no harm in it. Even if you're right, there's a time and a place. Seems you have a lot to learn about being a man, sir. Unfortunately, it's not my place to teach you. This conversation is over. Dude, you're my fucking servant. George doesn't look like he's willing to communicate further. Alright, George. I'm gonna be framing you for the murder, because I'm fucking petty. I gotta come in here when he's not here. Broken mirror. Shard from the glass would be a poetic murder weapon. No greater grief than to remember days of joy when misery is at hand. The antique map of Kansas City was a gift to your father from one of his distant cousins. An offshoot of the Bruce family set sail for the Americas almost 100 years ago, and remains there to this day. A billiards cue belonging to your father lies across the table. This could certainly serve as an unorthodox murder weapon. Impressive amount of wine stocked in the house. When your mother's prized golden candlestick sits at the center of the table, it would certainly make for an elegant traditional murder weapon. Walking into the pantry, you begin to salivate at the promising scent of a roast beef coming from the kitchen beyond. That's not the reason I'm salivating. You find nothing interesting in the drawers on top of the cabinet, however you see a blue box marked rat poison. Suicide frame. I don't think I'll be needing any bread. Sharp kitchen knife unattended. How foolish. Yeah, how foolish to leave a knife on a table with some bread. Crazy. Please don't touch that. Please. What about you? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, hello, Mr. Aaron. Is there something I can do for you? I'm sure you can do lots of things for me, lovely. You can pucker up those pretty lips of yours and give me a kiss. Mr. Aaron, please. That is highly inappropriate. Don't pretend like you don't enjoy the attention. I don't like it when silly girls play hard to get, you know. Stop being a tease and come here. Please, Mr. Aaron, you must stop this improper behavior at once, otherwise I'll be forced to call someone. I must get back to work now. I'll ring the bell when dinner's ready. Come on. May gives you an exasperated glance. She's obviously too busy. Oh, rejected. Fucking cucked. You manage to force open the locked drawer of the writing desk. Inside you find pages of poetry penned in your sister's handwriting. They seem to be love letters penned to an unidentified female. Oh my god. No wonder she doesn't want to fuck me. An assortment of family records and heirlooms. Cocked by my own sister. Hey. Oh, it's a memory. I don't know. Of course you do. Use that head for once, boy. Great Uncle Thomas? Sigh. What initials do you see on that silverware? A CB. What kind of half-wit spells Thomas with a C? I don't know. Well, I do. The kind of half-wit that's standing next to me. Now, which one of your ancestors owned that silver chalice? If you get this one wrong, there will be serious consequences, boy. Yeah, you're a dumb motherfucker. You deserve to get your ass beat. I'll say one thing for my father. His style of parenting has always been consistent. Can't even chat up the maid. Feels fucking bad, man. Your parents' room has not changed in years. A frozen time capsule of a childhood you'd sooner forget. It's only once you slide the top drawer open that you remember this is where your father keeps a shotgun. Wow. So we took the shotgun and the letter. Could make it look like she killed herself, yeah. Another flashback of me being a retard. George said you wanted to see me, Mother. Yes, your sister will not be returning to St. Mary's this year, Aaron. Her condition has become too serious. I see. Have you nothing to say besides that, Aaron? No, nothing. This is precisely what I wanted to talk to you about. The silly feud with your sister must stop. Why do you think her condition keeps getting worse? It's because of you stupid shit. She killed Henry. For heaven's sake, Aaron, it was only a rat. Oh, that fucking bitch. She killed my pet rat? He was my friend. Should have never allowed you to keep it in the first place. If you must blame someone, blame me. Will you forgive your sister? Never. Very well, Aaron, you leave me no choice. I'll have to speak to your father about this. Fuck you. This always brings back far too many memories. I'm gonna kill that bitch with a shard of glass. Another one of your mother's blasted plans. A familiar portrait of your great-uncle Thomas Bruce, who was a highly respected author. You look at your reflection in the mirror. Funny, you don't look much like a murderer. Mother says dinner is ready. Go away, little rat. Jennifer, what are you doing? Why do you stare at your reflection like that? Stop making fun of me. I'm not making fun, I really want to know. I just wish that... What, Jennifer, what do you wish? I wish you could go drown in a lake. My God. Mother is waiting for you. Kill my rat, threaten my fucking life. My sister's obsession with mirrors goes back right to her childhood. I never did understand why. You enter the surreal atmosphere of your sister's room. Mirrors of various sizes cover the walls, creating eerie illusions of crowded space. Ornate clocks are your sister's third love, right behind mirrors and cruelty. So many mirrors. Sister is too busy staring at herself to notice you rifling through her wardrobe. Find a pair of silky undergarments with her initials embroidered on the side. Planted in the right place, these might weave a tale of their own. Oh baby, still my sister's panties. Hold on. Hold on, little sister. I must explore this other room first. Your former bedroom, now a simple guest room. Most of your old furniture has vanished, probably thrown on a bonfire, knowing your father. There's at least one item of yours remaining in your former room, your old fencing sword. This fucking gutter. We're gonna first try this game. No silly business. The clock is ticking. Ah, the old bed. So many memories of long sleepless nights spent wishing your entire family would disappear. Aha, I thought I smelled a rat. Have you come to see me, little rat? How are you feeling? Hello, Jennifer. How have you been? How have I been? What an odd thing for a little rat to ask. Normally, they just say squeak, squeak. You used to have a pet rat, didn't you? Remember what I did to him? Oh, how he squeaks. Such great pain for such a little creature. My God. What do you want to talk to me about, little rat? Mother seems very worried about you. Mother says your condition has been getting worse. My condition? What condition? I don't have a condition. You want me sent away, don't you? Well, it won't work. It won't, I tell you. Go away. I don't want to speak to you anymore. Why did you kill my fucking rat? Most beloved of all your mother's possessions, her rusty old gramophone. Used to play all her favorite records. Glance over your shoulder to make sure your mother isn't looking. The red book on the desk says diary. So, Aaron, you finally managed to make it up here for a visit. Please tell me you aren't just here to cause trouble. I'm here to make amends. I'm not here to cause trouble, quite the opposite. Oh, our family has been dysfunctional for a long time. I have to take some responsibility for that. For what it's worth, I apologize for any stress that my behavior has caused you over the years. I see. You'll forgive me if I'm a little skeptical about this sudden change in your attitude, Aaron. If we can get through today without any drama, I would appreciate it. Have you been up to see your sister yet? She has been going through an unusually difficult time. Will she be okay? Do you think it's serious? Not seen her this bad in a long time. Do you remember that summer when she with the razor in the bathroom? Yes, I remember. That was the last time I remember seeing her like this, so yes, to answer your question, I'm a little worried. Should go wish your father happy birthday. Try to sound like you mean it. That's exactly what I did. Where is the bathroom anyway? So why don't we use a knife in the love letter, I guess? I don't know. These old-timey people don't like lesbians. Take the most intimate and lovelorn poem you can find and hide it on your person. If planted in the right location, this could raise interesting questions about the maid's relationship with your sister. Do I plant it now or after dinner? Am I supposed to kill her now? The knife, certainly a close and personal weapon, should suffice to get the deed done. Dinner is about ready now. I'll ring the bell to call everyone. Okay. Dinner is served. Sophia, could you come here a moment? Yes, ma'am. Pour me some wine. Yes, ma'am. But madame... Oh, what is it, George? I must protest. It has always been my duty to pour the wine at dinner. Oh, well, I don't want to cause any trouble. Nonsense. What does it matter, George? Stop being overly pedantic. But I... Do you let the staff speak to you like that? Are you gonna let George get away with this disobedience, mother? Of course not. You and I will have words after this. After dinner, George. Yes, madame. You let your mother deal with it, would you? We don't need your interference. An interfering little rat, isn't he, Daddy? Yes, he is. Why can't you ever keep your mouth shut, boy? Perhaps I did speak out of turn. You're right, I'm sorry. I've had too much wine. You better not let it happen again. Sophia, could you come here, please? Yes, Miss Jennifer. I just wanted to say that was the loveliest meal I've ever tasted. I don't know how you do it, you cunning pixie. You're too kind, miss. Of course, I always have tea and cakes for you in the drawing room as usual after dinner. You were so good to me, you sweet thing. So very, very good to me. Wouldn't mind some of your hotcakes. Hotcakes? And why haven't I been offered a serving of your sweet buns, Sophia? Aaron, leave the poor girl alone. Let's not forget why we're here today. Celebrate your father's birthday, such a very important occasion for us all. You are so dear to us, Malcolm. Happy birthday, Daddy. Indeed, happy birthday, Father. Let's hope it'll be one to remember. Now it's time to quickly plant any items of evidence you have. To do so, simply enter the desired room and select the item in your inventory. When you're ready, enter the drawing room to do the deed. If I put one of the love letters in her room, would that be more suspicious or less? Maybe I should put it in the maid's room. Maybe I'll put it in George's room. And people think he found and stole one of the letters and killed her because he wanted to fuck her. The deed is killing my sister. Come hither, thou sweet and flame-haired maiden. Let us play the games which have been forbidden. In dusty old rooms of this home in which I live in, come hither to me and do my sweet bidding. You find yourself unable to continue reading this poem. You're pretty sure that forbidden isn't a word and that the rest doesn't really rhyme. Do you want to plant the evidence in this room? You pull open one of the drawers of George's dresser and plant the incriminating item in here. Once inside, there's no turning back. Is there more I can do? I think that's it. Maybe. You see Jennifer staring out the window ahead of you, lost in one of her strange moods. She hasn't noticed you enter the drawing room. Now is the time. Your sister lets out a shriek as you grab her from behind and shove the knife into her back. You silence her cries with one hand over her mouth. Twisting the blade, you then let her limp body fall to the ground along with the bloody knife. Surely someone will come to investigate the noise soon. You need to get out of this room. Okay, this is my parents' room. It sounds like my deed has been discovered. Good evening, everyone. I am Chief Inspector Winston Lewis. I understand this is a difficult time for your family. You're damn right it is. I want to know what you're doing wasting time in here while my daughter's killer is still out there. Well, Mr. Bruce, we found no evidence of forced entry, and nobody was seen entering or leaving the house. It would seem entirely possible, then, that the killer is in this room. What? No. It seems highly unlikely, Inspector. Perhaps it is. However, in order to follow protocol, I'll have to interview each of you in turn. Mrs. Bruce, would you like to meet me in the library first? I suppose so. The interview. Thank you for joining me in here, Mr. Bruce. I'm sure this won't take long. Before we begin, I'll need to search your person. Best to get these formalities out of the way. Is this really necessary? I'm afraid so. Turn around, please. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the interview. As you know, I've already spoken to everyone else who was present in the house at the time of your sister's death. We've also now completed our initial search of the house, but we'll get to that later. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? First of all, we'll run through your activities since your arrival. The maid says that you and the butler arrived shortly after 7 o'clock and she greeted you at the door. The maid says you made several lewd comments and advances towards her during your conversation. This leads me to question your character, I'm afraid. Of course I did. Have you seen the maid? She's a pretty little thing after all. No, I can't say I would have. It's worth noting that the butler has also commented on your inappropriate behavior towards the maid. Later you went to speak with the maid again, which is curious. Why'd you decide to visit the kitchen? Isn't it obvious? I was pursuing her. I went to see more of the maid, a lot more. I see. You'll forgive me for suggesting you seem rather lecherous. She claims that you attempted to sexually assault her in the kitchen. Whoa, sexual assault? I only wanted a kiss. It's not like I tried to rape the girl, I just wanted a harmless hug and a kiss. Your intentions were unwanted, you should have realized that. Later on, you had a conversation with your mother, Gloria, in the parlor. She told me that you're unusually cordial, something about wanting to apologize and make amends. Just wanted to avoid I wasn't being entirely honest, I just wanted to avoid an awkward evening. Says you spoke briefly about your sister. Apparently you seem quite concerned about her well-being. worried my sister might attempt suicide. Oh, did she cut her own wrist? I thought she killed my rat with a razor. My mother and I were concerned that my sister might try to take her own life as she had attempted once before. She had she? I'll take note of that. You went to see your father in the library. I understand the conversation became quite heated. My father has a very short fuse. Many of our conversations go that way. Would you say he has a violent temper? Absolutely. That's good to know. You discussed the prospect of moving back to Dunshall. You said you'd only move back if your sister was placed in psychiatric care. I had her own best interests at heart. She belonged in care. You may be right, Mr. Bruce. However, you seem to be the only one who felt that way. Let's discuss your conversation with the butler. He confronted you about your earlier behavior with the maid. I understand you defended your actions by stating you were simply having a bit of fun. You often have fun at the expense of others, Mr. Bruce? Only to girls who insist on being teases. I only have fun at the expense of floozies who like to play hard to get. Mr. Bruce, I find that quite shocking. Did you speak to your sister before dinner? Yes, I did. I went to her room to see her. We spoke about her condition. I was aware that she was going through a particularly difficult time. Did she seem distressed to you? Yes, you could say that. She was not in a good place, mentally speaking. Let's move on to the events that took place during dinner. There's some trouble involving the butler, I gather. Apparently you were offended by his behavior. I wish I hadn't said anything, actually. I'd just been enjoying the wine a bit too much, perhaps. That's understandable. Apparently he made a rather lecherous comment towards the maid. Obviously, she can bend over my plate any time. Mr. Bruce, please keep your vulgar thoughts to yourself. I need to ascertain your location at the time of your sister's death. I was upstairs. I was trying to get to my old bedroom. I guess it was in the landing. It was on the upstairs landing. As I said earlier, we've completed our initial search of the property. Found a poem written by your sister, which appears to clearly express romantic feelings towards the maid. However, from where we found the poem, there was no reason for us to believe the maid was aware of those feelings. And judging from the manner of your sister's death, I think we can rule out suicide as an option. I'm curious about the murder weapon. The knife used to stab your sister in the back came from the kitchen, making the maid a suspect. However, we have established that you were also in the kitchen. All very interesting. I'll be completely honest with you now, Mr. Bruce. Frankly, your behavior leading up to your sister's death concerns me a great deal. While there's some suspicion regarding your father, I don't currently regard him as a serious suspect. I'm slightly curious about the maid, but I doubt she was involved in this. Given the weapon that was used, obviously suicide is not a possibility. As for what happens next, I'm placing you under arrest on suspicion of murder. My god, dude, come on. Connect the dots. George found the letter and killed my sister because he loved the maid, which is why he was offended that I was flirting with her. As the only person to be arrested, you remain the prime suspect. The evidence against you was overwhelming. What? You were given a life sentence for the murder of your sister, and you'd be spending the rest of your life sleeping behind bars. Your dank little cell. Fucking dank. There's nowhere to hide or escape from the nightmares. The deed has taken possession of your soul. Fuck that, she's a bitch. Dude, I committed the perfect crime with a perfect setup, and this dumbass fucking investigator doesn't know shit. Didn't know shit. Not the alcohol excuse. Okay, let's speed run this. I've been busy. Thank you. Oh, I didn't talk to anybody. Let him pour the wine. You stay out of it, boy. If your mother wants the girl to pour the damn wine, then the girl will pour the damn wine. Now. There's no need to make a scene. Malcolm, please, let's not permit his behavior to ruin dinner. You can count your lucky stars. Celebrate your father's birthday. My sister's talking shit to me. Okay. Like, I'm pretty sure we're gonna fail because we didn't fucking talk to anybody, right? Could I put the broken glass on the ground if I fucking strangle her? I don't know. Time to leave the room before your deed is discovered. Can I make it to my room in time? I was reminiscing about my awesome family. To search your person. Okay. It says that you and the butler arrived shortly after 7 o'clock and she greeted you. You did not stop to chat with either of your parents when you arrived, which strikes me as peculiar. Did not speak to my sister. Okay. Family always has to... Someone has to stand up for the servants around here. My family treats them like dirt. It's good of you to do so. I gather your father lost his temper at one point. Just the usual. Your father often loses his temper. My father loses his temper no matter where he is. Now I need to ascertain your location. Where were you? Upstairs. Oh, no. It was in my room. Found a poem written by your sister which appears to clearly express romantic feelings towards the maid. It was in the maid's room. Perhaps it was proof the two of them were involved in a secret relationship that would make her a suspect. Curious about the murder weapon. The broken glass seems to have come from one of your sister's mirrors we found at her rest in the maid's room. However, we can't rule out suicide, especially given your sister's mental condition and her obsession with mirrors. Some of your behavior this evening is being peculiar. I can find no cause for any significant suspicion. I also think the evidence surrounding the maid might be worth another look. You can go for now, but I'd appreciate if you did not leave town. I think another interview with the maid will be required. Although the inspector harbored suspicions about you, you were not brought in for further questioning. Sophia the maid was taken in for questioning and initially became the prime suspect, but it was determined that there was not sufficient evidence. Are you fucking kidding me? That evidence was enough to convict me last time, but this wasn't enough to convict her. You'd gotten away with murder, it seemed. However, you'd not given them sufficient reason to suspect anyone else either, and your father harbored suspicions of his own. Some years later, you were surprised to see his obituary in a national newspaper and horrified to learn that he had given his estate and possessions to a trust. You had committed this foul act for nothing. Now there's nothing at all to give you comfort in the long night. Okay. So what, we have to like frame my father so I can get this shit too? Lie to the inspector. I don't know if that's a good idea. Of course you can take my coat. Take this blasted wet thing off me. Thank you. Do you think your pathetic life means anything? You're the last of a noble dynasty that stretches back hundreds of years. What does your life mean next to that? You're the same snot-nosed brat. Oh, you beat me plenty. Do you ever consider trying another method? Not for a moment, you were always a sly little weasel. Best I could do is beat some of it out of you. Get out of here. Oh, I forgot to fucking talk to everybody. Shit. I was thinking to kill her with his fucking pool cue. But I can put the letter in his room and the fucking other shit in that room, maybe? I don't know if I can. I think we fucked up. Careful, mother. If you drink much more, you might end up embarrassing yourself. How dare you insult your mother? No need to make a scene. Oh shit, I didn't mean to flirt with her, fuck. I don't know if I can plant an item here. Maybe I'll plant it in my sister's room. I've already planted evidence? Oh, fuck. Okay, we lost. We lost. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Let me out of here. Let me out. I want to skip. Whoa. Game crashed. Hold on. Hold on. I don't think you can use it as a murder weapon. I think it's only an evidence one. But I might be wrong. Let's take another look. Yeah, planted it in the right place. Okay, hello father. I'm a nice guy. Let me live my own life. If you can't be civil, I'll take my leave. Okay. I'm trying to fucking walk out here and not talk to you. Okay, hello mother. That should be okay. I probably should be less nice if me being so nice is suspicious. I guess. Let's go talk to everybody. I'm a nice friendly guy. I want to ask you about working for my family. Considering that my father's bad temper doesn't seem to improve much over the years, does he give you much abuse? I wouldn't call it abuse. Certainly been a demanding employer, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm very grateful to have this position. I must get back to work, okay. Your concerns are my concerns. Come on now, George, we've known each other for many years. If something's troubling you, I want to hear about it. Ever since the new maid arrived, I feel like I've been nudged towards an early retirement. She's obviously being trained to become the new housekeeper. She's taking over my responsibilities one by one. Tried discussing the matter with your mother, but it's no use. She hasn't been herself lately either. What's wrong with my mother? Ever since your sister's condition has become worse, your mother's been rather cold and withdrawn. Sister's gone through some difficult spells before, but it's never affected your mother quite like this. I should say no more. Please excuse me. Okay, talk to everybody. Now we need the pool cue. See how this turns out. Oh, I needed my coat? You've got to be fucking kidding me. But that's weird itself. Maybe I'll just kill her with my hands, I guess. Oh, but I need to have an item on me. Maybe I'll keep my father's fucking beating thing on me anyway. And just try to explain it. don't think I don't think you can use it to kill her. I mean, we're gonna find out now anyway. Oh, I didn't mean to. Fuck. God. I want to say they should stop flirting to piss my father off. I wish it would let me just like skip the text. Yeah, I can't drop it in here. Putting your gloved hands firmly around her throat, she gasps and struggles, smashing into the chair and then the desk. Finally, you manage to find a good grip and you continue to choke her from behind until finally she goes limp in your arms. It was a noisy struggle. Oh my god, 3 seconds. Did you hear that, sir? Good evening, I'm the Chief Inspector. Yeah. Okay, let's see if you'll let me explain this fucking shit. I mean, she didn't get killed by it, so it doesn't matter that it's on me, right? I stole this damn hated thing from my father. He used to beat me with it. I was gonna take it home and burn it. Yes, and severe. Okay, it's working. You and the butler arrived. You went to see the maid. Make sure how she was being treated. Wanted to be sure he wasn't abusing her. My father was a vicious temper. I wanted to make sure he wasn't making her life miserable. You had a conversation with your mother. Wanted to clear the air between myself and my family. You think it's suspicious? Spoke briefly about your sister. Maybe I should have said I was just being nice. Worried that she might kill herself. Father always has a temper, violent temper. Father fails to accept that I've made my own life now. I can't move back here. Seem very worried about my mother. I spoke to my sister. Discussed her illness and obsessions. Felt like I had to say something. She was drinking far too much. Almost certainly. Coping mechanism. Nothing out of the ordinary. He lost his temper. It's only making a joke. I didn't mean to offend anyone. My bad. It was a misclick. It's in the West Wing. Like, what is that fucking area even called? I don't know. Ah, shit. Okay. romantic feelings to the maid in your father's library. Entirely possible he didn't like that. Yeah. Most likely strangled. You, your father, and the butler, more likely. Cause for suspicion. Evidence against your father seems compelling. Fuck. I'll be arresting your father shortly. Speaking to your mother again. I have to go to the station with him. We fucked that up. You're brought in for further questioning. The police determined that there was not enough evidence to arrest you. Your father, as the only one to be arrested, remained the prime suspect. After a long and difficult trial, he was finally convicted of the murder. In a controversial verdict. In prison, your elderly father's health deteriorated quickly and he died. Your grief-stricken mother died soon after. Dunshill House was yours, along with the fortune that came with it. However, George and Sophia found themselves unable to continue serving in the place after what had happened. As you spent many long sleepless nights wandering through the rooms of the house, you found that its emptiness was reflected within yourself. You had become hollow inside, free of everything but the nightmares. Dude, why would I have nightmares? We're a happy boy. Is there like a true ending here? Is there a better ending? Anyway, that was a success. Sloppy, but successful.